7 years ago, I was happily tucked away, content, working at Jacksboro Middle School as principal. Loved my job, loved everything about it. But there was going to be a change in the district and in leadership. So they opened up the process for applications. We had some needs in the district that I felt like I would be able to make a difference, because that's always been my #1 goal, is to make a difference, whether that's in the lives of students or in the lives of teachers or anyone in the community. So just wanted to make a positive difference. Things were going well at Jacksboro Middle School. I was approached by someone to see if I had any interest in the position. I ended up applying for it and then became the director appointed by the board. So when I came into this position, I'll tell you about the school system first of all. We have 14 schools. We have an elementary alternative school. We have a high school alternative school. We have 2 9 through 12 high schools. We have 2 6 through 8 middle schools, and the rest are pre-K through 8 schools. And we have some K through 5 schools. And we have 800 teachers and staff members. We're the largest employer in Campbell County. And our mission for the Campbell County school system is to provide our students with the skills they need to be academically, socially, and emotionally successful. And our vision is excellence for every student, every day. And our current district achievements or recognitions, at this time the state designates certain designations, and at this time we are listed as a district that is satisfactory. And we have just recently learned we have 2 level 5 schools, and tomorrow the embargo will be lifted and we'll make another announcement, which is a very positive announcement, but can't be made yet. In 2017 and 2018, when I came into this position, Campbell County, we were listed as chronically out of school. We had underperforming schools. We had a high discipline rate and overall low academic performance. And our buildings and facilities were in need of repair. And when I say the overall low academic performance, the Department of Education provides annual accountability determinations to districts that reflect performance and growth. And those determinations include reward, priority, and comprehensive support and improvement, and additional targeted support and improvement. CSI and ATSI are federal designations based on ESSA, which is the Every Student Succeeds Act. And as you can see, Jellicoe Elementary was listed as a priority and comprehensive support school. If they had not come off the list of that designation, they would have been taken over by the Tennessee Department of Education. The state would have come in and taken them over. La Follette Middle School was an additional targeted support school, and Valley View Elementary was an additional targeted support school. Our district determination was in need of improvement. There's in need of improvement, advancing, or exemplary, and we were a district in need of improvement. So this is how we responded. Nothing just happens by chance. We set what are called SMART goals. I'm sure you probably have those in your business. You know what that is. They are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based goals that we put in place to accelerate student achievement. I know this is small print. Can you all see this at all? We set goals for data-driven instruction, standards that were aligned to our instruction, rigorous instruction. We set high and clear expectations for students and staff and teachers. We used high-quality instructional materials. We had regular PLC meetings and data team meetings with our teachers and staff. We created a culture and climate of respect, and we worked to make our students and teachers feel valued, and we stayed focused and we provided professional development for different areas. And the professional development we provided was customized for the specific needs of different schools. So, after we did that, and we were consistent with it, and we were very strategic, and we were very intentional, just recently, and also, I didn't list this, but in 2017-18, the math scores at Campbell County High School were so low, they were suppressed by the state. They were not even released to the public because there was no growth being made. So, since that time, our Algebra 1 improvements doubled last year. U.S. history scores increased 42%. Our English 2 scores increased 13%. Our middle schools made gains in science and social studies. Also, 51% of our students, and this is remarkable because to make gains and improvements in your ACT score is very difficult to attain. And if you come up 1 point, that is a huge accomplishment. And 51% of our students this year alone increased their ACT score, with 2 students scoring a perfect ACT score in one area of the ACT. 9 students district-wide scored a perfect score in one area of their TCAP or ACT. And the way we achieved this was strategically placing our teachers where their strengths were. We offer remediation classes, we have tutoring. We also partnered with NISWANGR. It is a foundation that offers different classes that we may not be able to provide, or because of staffing, or we may not have a lot of student interest in it and you can't hire a teacher for just a few students. So we partnered with them where we pay a certain amount of money, they offer classes, and we have students who can take AP classes through that or some higher level classes. We have a school that was designated a STEM school, that is Elk Valley Elementary School, and we have a lot of STEM programs in several of our schools. Honors classes, AP classes, dual enrollment, and ACT prep. And our dual enrollment has always been strong. We've done really well with that, but we put another emphasis on AP because if you test out at the end of your AP class, you actually receive college credit for that. So our AP performance has increased significantly. This is just grade 3 through 8 district data comparison. The state begins their data at grade 3, and you can see ELA, math, science, social studies. The blue is last year, the orange is this year, and you can see by the arrows, we did go down a little bit in, let's see, that was all grades in ELA, but overall, that we increased in math, we increased in science, and we increased in social studies in all grades 3 through 8. So the summary of that, we saw a small improvement in math, which was a 2.4 increase. Science was a 1.4 or 1.8 increase, and social studies was a 1.1% increase in grades 3 through 8 on their TCAP assessment compared to last year's achievement. English language arts saw a 0.2 decline overall, but noted a 2.5% improvement in 3rd grade. 7th grade across the district showed declines in ELA, science and social studies, and they will be monitored more for growth this year. So the state gives us, they're called AMOs, they're annual measurable objectives. We take that, we look at it, and we customize our instruction and supports that we need to put in place to help those students meet the growth that they need to meet to show improvement. So our highest achievements, 4th and 6th grade science increased, 6th grade social studies increased, 5th and 7th grade math increased, 3rd, 5th, and 6th grade ELA increased, and those are some significant amounts that they increased by. So we were very pleased with that. Our high school data, as you can see, I said it's like playing Jenga. You'll have everything in place, everything is going great, you move one piece out of the puzzle, and sometimes it leaves a hole. And that's kind of what happened in a couple of our areas. To strengthen some of our areas, AP, things of that nature, we moved around some of our teachers, and English 1 and our English department was the department, the subject area that kind of suffered a little bit of loss in that. But again, you can see the district data for that in high school. And let's see the narrative on that. The high school showed remarkable improvement in history with scores more than tripling. Biology 1 saw a positive increase, 2.1%. The English 1 and 2 were the only two areas that did see a slight decline. Biology increased. You can see this one was amazing because we went up 41.8% in U.S. history. And we were intentional with that, but we truly, to be honest with you, had no idea that our interventions and the plan that we had in place was going to yield this much results. It was just a huge transformation. So one of the other areas that we focus on outside of our traditional academic program is our career and technical focus, and that's our CTE program. And Tracy Chambers has done an excellent job stepping into that role. We have strong CTE programs offered. I'm going to have Tracy explain a little bit about that to you. We have career coaches put in place at each high school. I love having our career coaches, so I want you to be sure and tell a little bit about that. We have an ISM grant, so that how much did we get? $1 million for each
$4 million,
okay.
$1 million per high school, then all the other schools.
Were
divvied out
$500,000.
to, yes.
Okay, and then the K through 8s were they
They were like
250,000?
yes.
Okay, so we have used that money to do programs to enhance some of our offerings for CTE, and you can explain that. I'll let you just come up and kind of take over this slide and tell about some of our success stories in CTE.
And just to give you a background on myself, I was a CTE. If you don't know what that means, that's what everybody used to call vocational education. But now people get all up in the air if you say that, and it's called career and technical education, CTE for short. I was a CTE high school teacher at Campbell County High School. I taught marketing, and I have a true passion for career and technical education because some students, they're going to go a university path, some are not. They're going to go by way of trades, and I'll just tell you, a lot of them make more money than I make. We partner with TCAT Jacksboro, TCAT Oneida. We have added them this year. We offer dual enrollment classes with both those institutions. TCAT Jacksboro, gosh, we offer several. They call those EPSOs, early post-secondary credit opportunities. So we offer several of those with them. We have several teachers at the high school. They actually are the EPSO teacher. We added TCAT Oneida and our culinary arts, which is a big program of study at Campbell County. They are now earning EPSOs through TCAT Oneida. Also, Rome State Community College. There's a plethora of opportunities for students now. So much. The state recognizes they are called Ready Grads, where you get EPSOs, you get a certain score on your ACT, and a big focus now, students in high school, it's an industry credential. That's what it's all about. Sometimes maybe it's OSHA 10, CPR. There are some very high-level industry certifications that students can get, and they are recognized as they graduate. They are called a Ready Grad. There are different ways to get there, but last year, Campbell County High School, I can't remember the percentage, they had a high jump in the percentage of students that were Ready Grads, and they're going to have even a higher percentage increase this year. Jellicoe, they also do a great job. Jellicoe High School has 6 programs of study. Campbell County has 16. Agriculture, which is a big program of study at Campbell County High School, they have 3 different programs of study. health science has too. There are so many opportunities now for career and technical education. Our teachers, they compete. 2 weeks ago, welding at Campbell County High School, they attended the Welding Rodeo, which is a competition put on by TCAT Knoxville. They competed with Oak Ridge, Anderson County, several high schools in Knox County. He won first, second, and third, which is great, and he is a really good teacher. But the most amazing thing that I loved, 2 of them were girls. So, and I don't know a thing about welding, other than everybody says that women make better welders because they're more detail oriented.
I'm going to jump in 1 second and say this. When I was an assistant principal at Campbell County High School and I would do evaluations, the CTE wing was one of my most favorite wings to evaluate and visit in the classrooms, because people have a misconception that those are easier classes, or that students who don't perform well in the regular or the academic classes, your core subjects, that they just put them in CTE classes. And that's not true. That's not true at all. And when I would be in the cosmetology room, the amount of biology that those students had to use to be able to mix up certain chemicals, they had to use actual chemistry application to that. To go in the agriculture classrooms, it is nothing but biology. They're the same standards that I would see in the core academic classrooms. They were being taught in the CTE classrooms. And in welding, same thing, math. It took so much math skills to be able to do that. But the difference is the students who may not be high performers in the academic core classes, they excelled with the same exact standards, but they excelled in the CTE program because they could use those math skills, they could use their chemistry knowledge, and they could remember the facts about biology, because everything was hands-on and it was application. So I am so happy to see that the trend in education has been to merge those two instead of having a standalone academic and what used to be called the vocational focus. So I am so glad that we have actually merged the two, because we are producing some outstanding, well-rounded, exceptional students. And I will save that story for the last part of this. I've got something else to share.
Actually, I was an assistant principal at Jacksboro Middle School. One of the females that's done so well in welding, she was a student when I was at the high school, and I like old trinkets, and I took her an old like silver plated platter, and I said, can you put me a jack-o'-lantern face on that? And I meant to bring it today. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And I'll always treasure that. And she was so proud when she handed that to me. It's just, CTE is the best. We are doing a renovation at Jellicoe, the welding and construction classroom. That'll be through probably January or February. We are going to add a new program of study, HVAC, at Campbell County, which is just in the beginning phases, but hopefully within the next year, that will be up and going. It's just amazing. The kids, the teachers, it's been an honor for me to get to work with the teachers and the students and the staff here, and there are great things going on. And I don't know if this is a day, December the 11th, I don't know if that is a day for you all, but that's when we were having the lunch and learn. Is it?
Yeah.
You're, okay. Are they coming? Maybe?
A leadership,
Okay, but it's not a day for them, then, okay. I hope you all can come. It's at Campbell County High School in the library, culinary arts, they prepare the meal. And as I said today at the chamber breakfast, our marketing teacher has a school-based enterprise, which is the store, and she is actually sponsoring the lunch. So she's paying for it out of the funds she makes from running her school-based enterprise. And then you'll be able to tour the classes and see what's going on. So I invite you all. It's on December the 11th. Do you remember what day of the week?
I don't remember what day it's on.
I think it is a Wednesday. So, and I think it's 11 to 1. So come out. We're excited about that. We did that last year, and it was great.
Okay, and we partner with a lot of local businesses for our internships and apprenticeships. One of the things that I wanted to mention about success stories of CTE graduates, they've gone on and they've done wonderful things, but, and I actually use this as an example when it asked, during my interview for this position, what is your most memorable moment, something that has meant the most to you in your career in education? And it is a student, when I was assistant principal at Campbell County High School, he stayed in trouble. He was constantly being sent to my office. And I would tell him, and it was so likable. He just would butt heads with a couple of his teachers. And I told him, I said, no matter what, and he had been to the alternative school, and he was back at the high school. And I told him, I said, you're never going to win that battle. Stop trying to fight it. You're just going to have to do what you're supposed to do, and if it's going to get that difficult for you, before you say something, come in here with me. And I talked to the teachers, just if he's having a moment, let him come see me. So he did come in, he would have his calm down times, we'd talk through it, he would go back, very good student. He ended up getting his industry certification, industry credentials and something. He was working at one of the plants through our co-op program, work-based learning. He would leave. When he graduated, he had his industry certification. He was recognized at awards night at Campbell County High School with several different awards, and he was working a full-time job in Oak Ridge, and he has done exceptionally well. He went on after that to complete a business degree at ETSU, and he is now working in a business and selling real estate. So that is what happens when students find their niche. There is a place for everyone, and our goal as educators is to find that perfect fit for our students. And fortunately, we're in a time in education where there's a lot of opportunities that we can do that. The other student supports that we have in place, we have social and emotional learning initiatives. We partner with Ridgeview and other outside agencies because, as you know, students are dealing with a lot of issues that are just common to the times in which we live. And we have supports put in place. Not only do we have programs in-house through school counseling, but we do have partnerships with other agencies so we can meet their needs. We have counseling and mental health services through outside agencies, counselors, and our counseling curriculum. And we have an exceptional school nutrition program, and we provide extracurricular opportunities. And the reason I have provided or put these all on the same slide together is because you cannot educate a child if they are not coming to you fed, their social needs being met, and their emotional needs being met. So we're here to support that part. We're here to support the whole child, everything about them. So we have a program in Campbell County, and it's offered across the state, but every school in Campbell County qualifies for it. So we offer what's called lunch at no cost. Every student in Campbell County eats free of charge. That's breakfast, lunch, and if they're at school later in the day, they have a snack provided to them. Our summer feeding program, which the ladies who prepared the meal today, they go out during the summer. It happened during COVID, and we continue it through the summer. And we provide food at no cost to not just our students, but anyone up to the age of 20, I think it's 21.
I think so.
And last year, this past year, they served 66,527 breakfasts and 70,151 lunches in the summer of 2024. So we truly, our school system, as in all rural districts, is the hub of the community. And we feel that we truly, truly are, that we have an outreach. And Those of you who have been here before, you know that several years ago, we had some teachers at Jacksboro Elementary School who went viral because they had a student who, we have a lot of backpack ministries, and we had a student who came in and said they really wanted to know when they were getting their backpack, and they kept asking for it. They hadn't had it in a couple of weeks, hadn't been delivered to the school, because they said, well, do you like the macaroni and cheese? What do you want in that? And they said, no, that's too crunchy. I like the SpaghettiOs. So the child was taking the food home, but had no one there to prepare the food for him. And he would eat the SpaghettiOs because he could just open the can and eat those cold. So the kindergarten teachers put their money together, pulled it together, went to Walmart, they bought Jell-O, they just filled up some groceries in a cart, took a picture of it. They didn't say what they were doing, they just said, I love my teachers and that we work together. Well, they ended up, that went viral, it was shared so many times that Jennifer Lopez and her husband at the time, what was it? Okay, yes, they're no longer together, but anyway, they had a food company that they shared together, and we had so much food come in from all across the world, not just the United States, all across the world that was sent here. We had to open up 1 or 2 rooms at Campbell County High School. People donated freezers so we could put the food, store the food in that. They donated so many Instapots, and this family, Jennifer Lopez, provided this family a freezer and a year's worth of food that went to this family. So we still actually have food up there. And this, the 2 teachers who spearheaded this, they were flown out to appear on an episode of a segment of The Doctors, and they were recognized for their efforts for doing that. So that's another success story. So another thing that, and I'm going to speed up, we have not just invested in our students and in the services we've provided, we have invested in giving them the best facilities possible. We have become a one-to-one district. Every student, there is a device for every student, and we have expanded our broadband access by partnering with the county commission. You were on the county commission during that time when we went through Highland and expanded our broadband services, and the school system gave a piece of land where they could put their little building where they could be the center point for their broadband access. So we contributed that. But just some examples, we have a gym and cafeteria expansion in progress at Jacksboro Elementary. We've put down field turf at both high schools. We've added new gym floors. We've renovated our track and field areas. We've made improvements in those areas. We've put new roofs on all our buildings. We've upgraded all our HVAC. We've put new fencing in or repaired the existing fencing that just needed a few minor repairs. We've completed painting in schools that needed some upgrades. We've added new lockers, new bleachers. Every school has gotten 1 to 2 new playgrounds. We've made press box repairs. We've put in a new telephone system that is, could put in a description of what you're wearing, and it would take out anyone in the school that does not fit that description and show us the location of everyone in the school that would fit my description of you. So, and we can track those students. It's amazing. So we have an SRO in every school. We have, we're in the process of installation of cloud-based cameras, bus cameras in all our schools or buses. We have key cards. Any teacher who is entering the building scans in with a key card that will go to a database that lets us know who has entered the building at what time, and then we have a track of who is in a building. We have vestibules, which if you've been into any of the schools, they have to buzz you through. We have gates that have been installed at any of our CTE classes where it's a shop class or something where the doors have to be open. We have put gates or fences around those areas, so those are protected at all times. And we collaborate with local law enforcement. They have access to our safety plans. We have an MOU with that, and we have regular meetings with them. One thing that I want to say, I don't think that anything with education should just be what you see in front of you. It is so much deeper than that, and it extends beyond Campbell County, just like you all are going in March to Nashville. I feel like that's where our legislators are. That's where we want to stay connected, because people think that I make all the rules, but what you don't see is I'm at the bottom of another flow chart. There's a lot of people above me and a lot higher than me. They just tell me what to do. So I stay focused on legislative priorities for funding and policies. I am happy to say that I am the first director in Campbell County to serve as chair of the Superintendent Study Council for the East Region in Tennessee. So that gives me a greater voice to advocate for our needs in Campbell County. I am also a Tennessee State Board member with the Tennessee Organization of School Superintendents. So there's one from each district that represents the state, and I'm happy to be a part of that, because I want to continue to get as much for Campbell County, because it's not just what we have going on today. We have to be forward thinking. We want to look ahead and plan that way. And examples of recent success from advocacy efforts: changes in third grade promotion retention, vouchers, and credit for off-site religion classes. We have worked, when I say we, educators in general, we really stressed the importance of easing up on some of the restrictions and guidelines on the third grade retention rate. And legislators listened to that, and they did make some changes. And vouchers, we were fortunate that did not pass, so we're going to be prepared to tackle that again in this upcoming legislative session. And then our class for religion courses, that is not affiliated with us because it's a religious class, but Hillcrest, the Christian Learning Center, has a class that we supported them in their efforts to get credit for that class. And we allow our students to leave Campbell County High School and walk over to their campus. So, key takeaways, and there's so much more. It's hard to sum up everything that we do and the accomplishments we've made, because it's something I'm so proud of, and it's something that I could talk about. Actually, it's really all I want to talk about. Mr. Hensing knows my husband, and he can probably, knowing his personality, can relate to this. When my family and I sit down and we start talking about school, because we're all in education, he immediately says, well, I'm out of here if that's what y'all are talking about now. And he gets up and leaves, because that is how much we talk about it. And once we get started, it's hard to stop. But after the first year, we had 3 reward schools, which means they made exemplary progress that first year. We've had improvements in attendance. We had a principal who participated in the Governor's Academy of School Leaders, GASL. Elk Valley was named a STEM school. We have a nurse in every school now, an SRO in every school. The ATSI schools that you saw, they came off the priority or the ATSI list, and the priority school exited. So we did very well there. Our discipline issues improved and continued to show improvement. After COVID, we had a huge spike in discipline issues. Those are back down below where they were before that. We train our principals with a group called the Elgin Foundation. We train coaches, academic coaches, through the Ayers Institute. We offer continued training for our ELA and math teachers, and we have showed significant growth in the areas that I showed you earlier. Our infrastructure improvements have been made across the district, and we've had increased ACT and AP scores. And we use this as our philosophy. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. We do not just show up at work today to see where the day may lead. We come to work every day very intentional. We're very focused on our outcomes, and we monitor and adjust along the way. If we see something's not working, we say, this is not going the way we planned, we're going to have to rethink this. And that's what we do. And we have a commitment to continued success. Our long-term goals for the district are something that we focus on. When we had our, how much did we have in ESSER money?
We had 3 different allocations of the ESSER money, which was the COVID money, which came to a total of over $28 million in 3 years.
So with that $28 million, I made it a point that we discussed, we did surveys, we reached out to the community, we surveyed our teachers, and we talked among ourselves that we wanted to use that money for long-term investment. Because as an educator, that's what we're doing. We're sowing into our community and into our students, and you know, we want to leave a legacy. And our sowing into the community and our legacy is that we made investments. We invested that money in projects that would maintain for the next 25 to 30 years. We wanted things that were not just shiny and pretty and immediate for people. We wanted to make an investment that would be for generations to come and after we have all retired. We wanted to leave it good for our students and teachers. And in anticipation for what is the unknown, we don't know what is going to happen with vouchers, but we do know that vouchers will take away money from public school systems, and that is what we rely on. And we established, we have had it approved, we have not activated it, but we do have an online school. It is the North Cumberland Online School, and in the event and misfortune that vouchers do pass, we will activate that and we will educate students through an online platform to satisfy that need if that's what ends up happening in the future.
So you'll give them like an alternative
What?
to?
Yes, it would be an alternative. It would not, like the alternative school we have now, you're usually sent there for a certain amount of time or because of a punishment. This would be an actual online school that you would just, you know, it's the same as being in any of our schools. It would just be an online version of it.
How much money do you all anticipate that you would lose with vouchers?
Well, without a doubt, we would lose a minimum of 65, well, no, the vouchers would be $7,500. But, yes, per student. So when that happens, that is not all the money we lose. There are 10, they're called ULNs, unique learner needs. Based on a student's need, we have some students, based on their needs, they generate a certain amount of money. You get a percentage for certain things that you provide that student. We have some students who we would lose $10,000 because certain you know, money is generated for that student. So we would, vouchers would result in school closures in rural areas of the county where enrollment is already low. We have schools that have 120 students, 110 students, and it would be very hard to sustain those when you lose funding. So one of the things I wanted to say, you know, I shared about the student in the CTE program. And it is so easy. I feel like the people who take to social media the quickest are the ones who have the most to complain about. The people, you know, who are happy say very little, or they are the ones who send note cards, or they send something out to the schools or their teachers or to the supervisors. It's not announced as publicly as what you hear when people have a complaint. So a lot of times you hear the negative, you don't always hear the positive. And we're all about the positive because, you know, that's what keeps us going. That's what motivates us. And as I was creating these slides, I was thinking about that, and I just thought, our school system is absolutely fantastic. Now, when the report card comes out, there will be some schools who score a 1. But that does not mean that they're not doing well. It just means that they're not showing a lot of growth that they're expected to show. They're still growing. But there's a subgroup of students that it's very difficult to show growth with, and that is in our special education department. And when you are in an impoverished area, your numbers in that subgroup will increase. So that is what we, you know, have to really work to improve, and we're showing improvement. but it is slow improvement. But it's easy to, especially if you're a type A personality, you always look at what needs to be done. It's not always look at what we have done. And I just thought about the people in this office. I know I'm a product of the Campbell County school system. Pam is, Regina is. Who else graduated from Campbell County? You know, I think we've done very well. I feel I can compete with anybody that I work with or that I interact with. And I just thought about our children in this office alone have all been educated in the Campbell County school system. And the ones who have graduated, we have several who are enrolled in college now or in TCAT or Roan State. But in this office alone, we have a nurse practitioner, a doctor of pharmacy, a data analyst for HUD in Washington, D.C., a pilot, a dental hygienist, an attorney who is now a judge. We have 2 who are in medical sales, some with business degrees, maybe a business owner, an x-ray technologist, a medical doctor, some who went straight into the workforce, hairstylist, some in graduate schools, and we have one who just made his CDLs, which is very difficult to do. If you know anybody who has tried to do that, that takes many attempts, you know. So we have a lot to be proud of, and you know, these are our students and they're, you know, students in your community. So I want to give you a product that you're proud of. I think that's what we all work to achieve. And so I hope that you can see the effort that we put into this, and hope you can tell our passion and pride in this. So we encourage your partnership and support, and this is our website. Please visit that regularly. You can follow us on Facebook. We're on Instagram, and we give regular updates. And if you go to the school website, you will have, there's links to a lot of our academic resources, and you can browse through that. You can find a lot of information. So do you all have any questions?
Jennifer, I'd like to add a comment.
Okay.
I just want to let you all know what the students of the Campbell County High School building trades are doing. I had an elderly gentleman who is homebound, who can't even get off of his porch. In order for him to leave his home, they have to get the fire department to come and take him off the porch. Excuse me. And I get a little bit of funding through the Follett Medical Foundation to provide money for wheelchair ramps. So the building trade students, I was able to purchase them in lumber, and the building trade students are actually building the ramp for this guy.
Wonderful.
And then they're
That
going
is-
to take it and put it on his porch. So
That
I just
is
think that's
great.
just
Yes, that
an
is
awesome-
wonderful. I'm happy to hear that. That's exciting. That is great. Thank you for sharing that. Does anyone else have any questions or comments?
Thank you for the excellent job y'all do.
Thank you. Well, it is our pleasure. It's actually our honor to do this. Every day we come to work, you know, I'm not saying we don't dread some of the things that are going to be facing us that day, but we're happy to be in a place where we can do that and hopefully make a difference. So thank you all for being here today and sharing some time with us.
Thank you, Jennifer. We appreciate it. If anybody needs to use the restroom,